In a major announcement, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to annex 1/3 of the West Bank if he wins the next week's general election, re-election. Israel goes to polls on the 17th of September. Netanyahu said that he will annex the area covering the Jordan Valley and northern Dead Sea, which were occupied by Israel after the Six-Day War of 1967. Netanyahu said that he will wait for U.S. President Donald Trump to present his Israel-Palestine peace deal before finalizing his own plans.
אבל יש מקום אחד, הריבונות הישראלית מיד לאחר הבחירות. היא מקבל מכם, אזרחי ישראל, מנדט ברור לעשות זאת. בחודשים האחרונים הובלתי מאמץ מדיני בכיוון הזה, את הריבונות הישראלית על בקעת הירדן וצפון ים המלח.
The Jordan Valley accounts for 1/3 of the West Bank. It is home to nearly 65,000 Palestinians and 11,000 Israelis. The Palestinians want the region to be part of their future state. As expected, Netanyahu's remarks set alarm bells ringing across the Arab world. The chief Palestinian negotiator, Saeb Erekat, said that West Bank's annexation would amount to a war crime.
Of occupied territories is a war crime. So Mr. Netanyahu and those who help or aid Mr. Netanyahu in such a vision of annexing Jerusalem, annexing Hebron, annexing the Jordan Valley, the Jordan River, the Dead Sea, and then keeping Palestinians in their small towns and villages as prisoners without any freedom, that is a war crime. The international community must stand tall now, all, to say a big no and to stop treating Israel as a country above the laws of man.
Saudi Arabia has called for an emergency meeting of the foreign ministers of the 57-member Organization of Islamic Cooperation. In a statement, the Saudi Royal Court said, and I'm quoting, "The kingdom affirms that this declaration is a very dangerous escalation against the Palestinian people and represents a flagrant violation of the UN Charter and the principles of international law." Condemning Netanyahu's announcement, Jordanian Foreign Minister Emma chances for peace for electoral purposes was irresponsible and dangerous. The United Nations also denounced Netanyahu's plans as unilateral action that would not help in the peace process. And let's get in further details now from our West Asia Bureau Chief Daniele Pagani, who's joining us on the broadcast. Daniele, such a promise was made earlier on as well by Prime Minister Netanyahu. But what's your assessment of the promise this time around and the ramifications that it will have if Netanyahu does return to power?
Let's start by saying that everything that Netanyahu says in these days, Israel is voting in 6 days, it needs to be taken with more than a pinch of salt. It's an evergreen of the electoral campaign in Israel. It boosts the right wing and it helps all governments to try to gather more votes on the right wing and among all those communities living inside those settlements. But this time it seems that it's a bit more serious. Why so? First of all, Netanyahu differentiated, saying that he would start from the Jordan Valley, an area where Israeli military forces have already a very, very massive presence and a very stable presence. Then he also said that he already discussed this with Washington, and Washington seems to be on board. The U.S. said that they did not change any stand on their beliefs that there could be an annexation if that's done properly, and that wouldn't hinder the peace process. So it seems that Netanyahu is actually setting a game which is way more serious than other times. Clear of a peace process if